All right, we're going to chat a little bit about survivorship benefits. I know we've talked about this in the past, but I'm going to share with you some data here that I think is kind of interesting to look at. So when you look at the percentage of people who are getting Social Security by age group, females have a growing share of Social Security benefits over these age groupings, right? In the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. Now, why is that? Well, they are receiving most likely survivorship benefits from their husbands. And so you have different kind of groups. You have groups of women that worked and have their own benefits. You have women that did not necessarily work or worked to a smaller amount, but then they ultimately got survivorship benefits from their husbands. So, it's good to know. And obviously, because women tend to have longer lifespans, right? And so, as we look at this data, we are seeing that there are more and more women living alone, most likely, and taking up a larger share of the Social Security. Now, as a byproduct of this, one of the things that we recommend is that they kind of know what their survivorship benefits are earlier in life so they can be prepared for whatever they're going to run into, right? And so it's very important that when you are talking about survivorship benefits, that you're talking about a few different things. One of the things that you want to talk about is while both spouses are living, it's important to talk about when we're going to go on Social Security. If the primary earner, which in some cases or in a lot of cases is a man, then you want to have a conversation about not going on before full retirement because the survivorship benefits are reduced if the man goes on before full retirement, right? And so please think about that and please have that conversation. It's an important conversation to have. Many times the man is done, maybe is retired by 62 and is done and just wants to get their money and they want to go at 62 and they don't fully understand what the impact is going to be to their spouse. So I highly recommend, you have that conversation. The other thing that I think is very important is when does you know, oftentimes if the woman, the remaining spouse is left holding with their own Social Security and their own um, uh, and they have the spousal benefit, they assume that they have to go on at the same time. There are advantages to look at that, and I highly recommend you understand how to sort of sequence that because going on at the same time may mean that you're going to get less lifetime income, right? It is not uncommon for someone to go on their spousal benefits earlier and wait for their regular Social Security to get up to the age of 70 and they get the best outcome. Excuse me. So those are some points that I would consider making and thinking about. And also understanding when you and sort of the staging of these benefits and sort of when you should elect them. Any RSSA can show you how to do, can give you the information on your specific situation, tell you exactly what your numbers are, so you can kind of make those kind of critical decisions and do that kind of planning. I highly recommend doing that. And that's that.